Food is fuel for our body. It's nourishment. Sure, we tend to gravitate towards foods that taste good, but offer, in many cases, no nutritional value. But what are the best foods, the most incredible nutrient-dense foods that we can eat regularly if we want to have great health? Let's uncover my findings. Hey Wellness Warriors, I'm Dr. Nick Zyrowski, and I started my holistic health practice in order to help you take control of your health naturally. This is because true health only comes naturally. So be sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and give this video a thumbs up and share with me your thoughts in the comment section below. Let's first focus on a food that many people find a little bit unsavory. In fact, my kids think it's the most disgusting thing on the planet, but you can't ignore the facts, and this is a food that many people should be eating a little bit more. It is a fat powerhouse that is incredible for both brain health and cardiovascular health. This food is sardines. It's loaded with 7 grams of EPA and DHA, and that's truly incredible. That's a huge amount. It has 15 grams of protein and then other vitamins and minerals involved as well. Now let's say that you just threw up in your mouth a little bit, and I understand because a lot of people don't like sardines. The good news is there's another fish on the block that offers a lot of the same nutritional value. It's just in lesser amounts, and that fish is going to be salmon. Salmon is a truly incredible fish loaded with good fats, good protein, and other vitamins and minerals as well. In fact, in my house, it's one of the favorite fish that we consume. What I like to do is actually make a smoked salmon steak, and it's so good. And I think that just because of the way that it's cut, it takes on the flavoring of the seasoning a little bit better. It's less fishy. Everybody loves it. So try a salmon steak and let me know what you think of it. Another protein source that is super nutrient dense is one that we don't really use that much today compared to how much our ancestors used to. This is liver. Now, liver has an extraordinary nutrient density that's really looked over in Western society because we prioritize muscle meats over organ meats. Now, when we look at the nutritional profile of liver, it's actually pretty crazy. For instance, a 3.5 ounce of liver has 1,176% of our daily value of vitamin B12. It's also loaded with niacin and B6 and folate and a whole other broad spectrum of vitamins and minerals. Now, when we look at how we can optimize our nutrition on a weekly basis, liver's a great thing that we can throw in. What I do recommend though is if you're going to eat liver, it's coming from a grass-fed source, and it also is from an animal that is free of antibiotics and hormones. This next nutrient superhero can be eaten in a lot of different ways. You can dehydrate it, you can throw it in a smoothie, or you can put it in a salad. This food is kale. Kale is a highly nutritious leafy green that's part of the cruciferous family that's loaded with lots of vitamins and minerals ranging anywhere from vitamin A, C, and K all the way to potassium, manganese, and calcium. Now, when we eat kale, you can even mix it with some healthy fats and really have a superfood powerhouse. And you do this by simply sauteing it with some coconut oil. Now, when you get kale from the store, one of the things that many people find is buying baby kale is much more palatable. Now, I want to tell you one of my all-time favorite ways of eating kale though. It's simply dehydrating it in the oven, sprinkling some sea salt on it, and also some Parmesan cheese. It's incredible. Give it a try. And by the way, before we get to the next superfood, like me, I know that you're tired of all the censorship happening on social media and the ads that pop up every 5 seconds on YouTube, distracting you from the real reason you're here, and that's to improve your health naturally. So what I did is I started a brand new community called the Wellness Warrior Community, and you can join it by texting this number right here. It's ad-free, it's censorship-free, and all you have to do is text this number and I'll see you on the other side of it. The next top nutrient-dense food is one that you've probably heard me talk about a bunch, and if you're somebody who's ever followed the ketogenic diet, you're gonna be very familiar with this food. This is the egg. Now, one single egg has 75 calories in it. And the egg also is loaded with tons of vitamins, minerals, and nutrients. It has vitamin A, B, D, lots of antioxidants, has choline, which is really good for the brain, a great amino acid profile, and also loaded with good fats. Now, when you cook an egg, if you want to preserve the nutrients, the absolute best in it, one of the things you're gonna wanna do is soft boil it. It's the best way to preserve all the nutrients in the egg. Let me know in the comment section how many eggs you eat on a daily basis because people always surprise me with the number. It's usually quite high up there. Now, this next food is one of my favorite foods on the planet and is truly a nice sweet treat that nature has to offer. You can eat it by just eating them plain, or you can throw it into a smoothie. This is a fruit and it's blueberries. Now, in terms of nutrient density, blueberries are in a league of their own. They're loaded with antioxidants and also anthocyanins and other various plant compounds that have been shown to have a profound impact on the body. They've also been shown to have nutrients that cross the blood-brain barrier and offer a protective effect to the brain. Blueberries have also been shown in much of the research to have a really protective effect in reversing many different health conditions that people face today, which is really cool. Now, one of my favorite ways to eat blueberries is to freeze them, throw them in a smoothie with kale and spinach and some of your other favorite superfoods, and it's just a nutritional powerhouse. Now, I shouldn't have to convince anybody to eat this next food, but here's the deal, is it has to be healthy. And it's not healthy if it's coming from an unhealthy source or if it's loaded with sugar. And this is chocolate. Chocolate with a high cacao content has been shown to have some really awesome impacts on the body. It supports brain health, it supports positive mood, it also supports lowering your blood pressure and even improving your cardiovascular health. Now, like I said, we have to make sure that it's from a healthy source, choose organic when possible, make sure it has a high cacao content, and then make sure that it doesn't have sugar in it. One of my favorite things to do is find this chocolate that's sweetened with stevia, and it's so delicious. Now, I'm going to throw in a food that many people may be a little bit surprised about, but they're all natural and they're super delicious. They just don't fall into the must-eat category. Now, this is an inexpensive food. It's a little bit higher in carbohydrates, and this is the potato. Potatoes have a good nutrient profile. Just one potato has about 520 milligrams of potassium. It has a ton of magnesium, iron, copper, and manganese as well. They also have vitamins like vitamin C and D, but overall, you're gonna find that a potato has an incredible electrolyte profile. A potato is mostly carbs, so we don't wanna overdo it here. The sweet potato has a higher antioxidant content, but also has a lower glycemic index. So if I'm craving some carbs and I want a healthy option, then the sweet potato is typically what I stick to. Now, boiling the sweet potato will also help keep the glycemic index down versus baking it, because when you bake the sweet potato, the way that the starch is gelatinized, it just increases the glycemic index. So it's a good little fun fact for you to know. Now, my keto people, they may be shaking their heads a little bit, but the fact is, if you're looking to eat healthy and you're looking for a carb, a potato is not a bad way to go. When we eat, it's so important to make sure that we have diversity in our diet. If you think back to our ancestors, they were forced to have diversity in their diet simply because of the seasonal changes. If you look at a cold climate like I live in Michigan, you could imagine during the winter time, you're probably gonna have to be mostly carnivore. Maybe you have some preserved fruits and veggies laying around, but you would mostly focus on eating meats, and then in the summertime, you would more focus on eating a lot of fruits and veggies. And due to the way that our food supply is today, we have certain foods available year-round. And because people are creatures of habit, we tend to eat the same foods day after day. So let this serve as a reminder to you to make sure that you add lots of diversity in your diet, and also make sure that you don't forget about these nutritional powerhouses that I mentioned in this video. Now, to learn how to lose fat and gain muscle, watch this video right here. Intermittent fasting is also going to boost growth hormones so that you can start building strength, so that you can actually start becoming more toned. And from there, the intermittent fasting is also going to be muscle sparing.